Hey, how's it going, everybody? Now, have you ever been to McDonald's? Well, ridiculous question. Of course you have. Everyone has, pretty much. Um, and if you're from the States, honestly, it seems like in no big city is missing a McDonald's. McDonald's is, I always say, we do have very few options here in Germany, and I absolutely fucking hate that when it comes to fast food. Because I mean, what do we have? We got KFC, and that only turned out later on. KFC, McDonald's, and Burger King. That's pretty much it. But McDonald's is in the States everywhere. Obviously, that's where it was founded. But it wasn't always like that. It wasn't always like that in other places as well, like Russia, for example. In Russia, they used to, for a long, long time, they did not have McDonald's. And in 1990, that changed. And here's some news about that from that time. Here we go. McDonald's opens in Hungary, Moscow, but costs half a day's wage for lunch. Jesus.
Well, it's been 14 years in the making, and today, finally, McDonald's threw open the doors to its first restaurant in Moscow. And make no mistake, this was an event of major gastronomic proportions. Our Moscow correspondent, Don Murray, savored the cultural revolution that surrounds the Big Mac's arrival in Moscow.
First, you go look at the hammer and sickle, literally in the McDonald's. Jesus Christ!
That surrounds the Big Mac's arrival in Moscow.
A feast in the time of plague. The words of Alexander Pushkin, Russia's greatest poet. In this new time of troubles, on the square that bears his name and statue, Pushkin now contemplates McDonald's. And the question is, was this the feast he wrote about? They opened what may be the world's largest hamburger stand this morning, and Pushkin's descendants crowded in. Their verdict on the feast was mixed. I don't like it at all, he says. It's not Russian.
It's very beautiful, but I expected more, I think.
Oh my god. Well, actually, it's quite interesting that he knows how to speak English. I'm not gonna lie. Was English even being taught in Russia? I can't imagine it. 1990. It's not Russian.
I don't like it at all, he says. It's not Russian.
It's very beautiful, but I expected more, I think.
This woman doesn't know what she just ate, but she says it was unusual and delicious.
Потому что мы все голодные, можно сказать. У нас же ничего в магазинах нет.
We're all hungry in this city, she says. We need more of these places. There's nothing in our stores or restaurants.
Jesus, there's nothing in our stores. See, here's the thing. We need more of this. We're starving. I understand that, and as much as I wish for them to have had, more than that, just that one store. It's 1990, costs half a day's wage. I mean, they're gonna spend all their money on it,
If you're McDonald's with a restaurant that can serve up to 15,000 meals a day, how do you ensure that you don't run out of food like everyone else? The answer lies in a Moscow suburb, a complete food processing plant. Part of McDonald's $50 million investment here, where 14,000 buns per hour are baked, where 3,000 tons of potatoes are peeled and measured, where 10,000
measured. What the fuck?
Patties an hour are prepared and frozen. That's expensive, and so is the end product for the Soviet consumer. A Big Mac, French fries, and a drink is the equivalent of half a day's wages. Some unhappy Muscovites are publicly protesting. 7 or 8 rubles for lunch, he says. They're ripping us off. But those inside are...
Wait, 7 or 8 rubles. Hold on, I gotta check that. How much was that at the time? Wait, how much is rubles? Let me see. Rubles in euro. 7 or 8 euros. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, he's 7 or 8? Wait, 8 cents?
For lunch, he says.
Now, obviously there's inflation, but still.
7 or 8 rubles for lunch, he says. They're ripping us off. But those inside are still trying to digest the service. I spilt my milkshake, he says, and I thought they'd bawl me out. Instead, they gave me another one. All of the staff have been taught to smile relentlessly, all the time.
I smile to anybody and they say, oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? I wonder what has happened. Why do you smile? They think that I'm laughing at them.
Yeah.
And so, on this day, when cameras jostled and...
It's very sad, but honestly, I mean, I guess in Russia, especially at the time, it's not like people were smiling at customers anywhere else. So when that Western culture comes, you know, when you're supposed, I mean, especially American, when you're supposed to smile. I mean, every time I went into a store in the States, I could definitely notice, you know, the employees smiling, which is obviously as a customer a nice thing, you know. But could definitely see how the how Russia in general, especially because it's so big, it's just doesn't know what to do with it or thinks something bad of it almost.
Public relations triumphed, the head of McDonald's Canada, the prime mover in this joint venture, waxed lyrical, invoking Pushkin himself.
Come on, bro, just shave your head.
I think he'd probably write a magnificent poem saying that it's, in this day and age, it's nice when the people can come out and get meat, bread, potatoes, and milk of the highest quality.
What Pushkin did write was this: happiness can only be found in communal pursuits. They started lining up this morning at 4 o'clock.
Whoa.
Happiness today in Moscow lay in the communal pursuit of a Big Mac. Don Murray, CBC News, Moscow.
And 2 more signs of the instant hit McDonald's was today. The store had to stay open several hours past its posted closing time because there were so many people still in line. And the store set a McDonald's record for most people served on an opening day, 30,000.
Holy 30,000. Of course it has a record. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine actually being there at the time? This was literally 31 years ago. 4 in the morning. So they were open they were open for at least 20 hours. That's probably until midnight. There's no way. And they must have opened on the weekends, if anything. I mean, other than that, how would the people have the time to then go there anyway, especially throughout the day? What are your thoughts on this? Jesus, almost unimaginable nowadays. You know, where you got McDonald's at every corner in almost every country world. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If there's any other videos you would like me to react to, give me the name or the title of the video down in the comments, and I'll go check it out. Take care. Bye-bye.